Well, hello there, my incredibly handsome, talented, and interesting friend watching or listening to this. If you're here watching or listening, you are the kind of person that wants to grow, and that makes us friends because I think the coolest thing you can do is try. No matter what's going on in your life, as long as you're trying, It's an old saying from the Old Testament, from the book of Proverbs. It says, "It is better to be a live dog than a dead lion." As long as there's life, there's hope, right? So wherever you are listening to this today, whether you just won the lottery, whether you've just been elected President of the United States, if that's the case, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm honoured. Or whether things are really dark and difficult, welcome aboard. We're going to have some hope today. We're going to have some encouragement. Do me a favour. Please make sure you have subscribed. Hit that subscribe button and grab yourself a free copy of my book, Bridging the Gap. There will be a link where you can grab that book. Right, today we are talking about a really cool quote. I like this one. You're going to see me get pretty jazzed. It's a quote. It's a quote. It's a quote. Other channels do quotes, but here we do quotes. It is a great insight. Let's go with that. It's an insight from the famous Stephen Covey. As long as you think the problem is out there, that very thought is the problem. All right. Thank you, Dr. Covey, author of the famous book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You'd be familiar with that one, most of you. I like this one. As long as you think the problem is out there, then that's the problem. This is good. There's a lot in this, right? First thing he's reminding us of is that it is super simple and understandable that when we're facing difficulty, adversity, trial, and hardship, we can quickly fall into the habit of attributing the problem to an external force. Now, on one level, I get it. If an invading army marches into your town, if inflation goes through the roof, if you get fired, you can easily point to a circumstance and say, that is the cause of my unhappiness. I think what Covey's reminding us of here is it's rarely the event. It's the attributional style that we carry, and it's the meaning that we ascribe to the event. So if you give the event an extremely toxic, permanent, pervasive meaning, then a whole bunch of things are going to happen. You're not going to be creative looking for solutions. If you're in despair and despondency because you've totally externalized the suffering, then you are not going to be in an optimized physiological, psychological state to look for creative solutions. So the first thing we want to do is we want to be objective. We want to say, yes, I recognize there is this event. This event is problematic. Let's not sugarcoat it, right? If you are in the midst of real difficulty, we're not saying that the job is to go, hey, I just got a terrible diagnosis. This is the best. I can't wait to be positive through this and be a witness to other people. No, we're human. These things are scary, right? They're hard. They're difficult. COVID, we were hit hugely in terms of shutdowns and lockdowns and travel bans and all the other craziness, massive overreaction that went with it. And it's so easy to simply go, to get stuck, to stay, to just go, I can't change it, I am powerless. The magic here today is the reminder that really the real power comes from the internal state. Because if you can change the internal state, if you can change the meaning, then you got options. And you can have all sorts of meanings to a difficult circumstance. You can be like, right, I'm going to get even. I'm going to show these people. I'm going to prove to them that, So immediately you take the power back within you. Some of you will be familiar with the locus of control studies. So, one of the crucial things that psychology uncovered in the 20th century was this idea of locus of control. That as soon as, they used to shock rats, in a cage, if that's confronting. And the rats, in some of the experiments, the rats could stop the shocks happening. And the other ones they couldn't. So they go into this learned helplessness, collapse state. And the locus of control, the sense that they could do anything about their suffering. The ones that believed they couldn't do anything ended up in a really terrible state. So this is about agency. This is about the concept of, at any given time, not giving all the power to the external circumstance, but realizing that you do have extraordinary resources, even if you don't feel like it. And sometimes it's the real hardship and the real suffering and the real difficult times of life that will literally make you or break you, right? Because when the real suffering comes on, you either go to a collapse state, and that can manifest in so many bad ways, right? Like addiction and avoidance behaviors and violence or aggression, all these different things that we do when we decide that there's this external threat and there's nothing we can do and we give up. But the other option, of course, is to realize that what do you have? Well, you have your spirit, you have your intellect, you probably have some level of community and relationship that you can draw upon, you have spirituality. So all of these resources are internal. And these resources are given to us for a reason, right? To confront the challenges of life. The world is full of incredible men and women and young men and women, boys and girls, faced with terrible suffering and adversity, who learn to make something extraordinary out of it. So let's agree with Stephen Covey today that the minute that we think the real problem is out there, we're in trouble. Because whatever you're facing, financial, relational, physical, personal, whatever, yes, it's real. Yes, there's a strong objective component, but your focus needs to shift from the external threat to the internal resource, okay? Get a journal out. Even if it's hard, even if you're going, oh, I can't write this, write it. Write the heading. What are my internal resources to deal with X? Relationship breakdown, financial crisis, health crisis. What are my internal resources to deal with it? And then start writing. And you'll be going, well, I don't have any. Because we're in an unproductive state. So we've got to get in a good physiological state, eat well, get some rest, be in a good space, go for a walk. And then, whatever the problem is, start to write down what your options are. Okay, that's all I want to say today. Please make sure you've subscribed. Please grab a copy of my free book, Bridging the Gap. Check out the other links wherever you're hearing or watching, and I'll have another message for you tomorrow.